everybody. Welcome to Host on Air. I'm your host, Lucie. This is your host, Sarah. Welcome to another lovely episode. We had an amazing weekend, and we tried to post some stuff on our social media in case you didn't catch it. It was there. You should join us on our social media. It's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Hose on Air. Oh, I guess TikTok too. We're on TikTok too.
Absolutely.
But of course, Go Live Vegas has been supporting us, and we took a trip to Pahrump. Yeah, Pahrump. So Pahrump, Nevada. If you haven't been there, it's over the mountain. Go behind Mount Charleston. And the reason we went is because they have a music event every Saturday at the winery, and of course, cheers.
I was wondering. Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Word.
Welcome to another episode.
To Pahrump.
So, little did you know, or in case you didn't know, Pahrump has 3 wineries. So we actually have a local Las Vegas distillery, and we have 3 Nevada wineries right here in Pahrump, and one of which is significantly bigger than the others, but currently is not in service. So we went to Sanders Family Winery, which is a beautiful facility and still run by the original owner, right?
Yes.
Jack Sanders. Frank? Jack?
It's Jack.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Sorry.
The wine was fabulous.
Woo. Yeah, the wine was fabulous. The entertainment's fabulous. So they do entertainment at dusk every Saturday. And top-notch Las Vegas entertainers, and you get to sample all the wines. They bring in a food truck. It's really fun. Like, we had a great time.
It really was. I mean, I thought that the people there were just so fun. They were friendly. Everybody was out there to just relax and have a good time.
And we did. Michael Grimm played, and we played overtime. I think we stayed pretty late, but it was way fun. So our lovely host sent us home with a plethora of wines. And they have, we're eating. You. That's us eating dark chocolate with
Thank you
nuts
for giving that to Aaron,
salt.
Lucie. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Salty nuts, man. You got to have salty nuts covered in some chocolate.
It was dark chocolate, delicious.
And there's Michael Grimm. It was a sold-out house. People were waiting in line for people to no-show, so that was kind of cool. And it's a great event, you guys. If you have nothing to do on Saturdays and you want to do something special, it's about an hour and what was it?
An hour and
15
change.
Minutes?
Yep.
Are we legally allowed to show those pictures?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
show them.
This is a collection of wines that we were sent home with, the Sanders Family Winery. All absolutely fabulous. So you get to taste all of these for free when you go visit. And we are in high support of the Sanders Family Winery. And beautiful weddings there. My girlfriend got married there a few years back.
Gazebos, lights, all of the stuff.
And beautiful courtyard and very affordable. So if you think you're on a budget for your wedding, they have champagne. You can have a bottle custom labeled with your wedding date and your name and everything. It's pretty cool.
Wow. So, my favorite is Serenity. Can we open that? Can we teach the people how we open? Because it's Pop Top.
This is Sarah's favorite.
Which is Serenity Now.
White table wine. Here, let me see.
Serenity Now.
Serenity Now.
Serenity Now.
Fruit forward. Well, let's see. Fruit forward goes well with fruits, cheeses, seafood, and just plain social sipping.
Which is what we do.
That's what we do.
This is what the show is about. It tastes like pears and joy.
It does. So I'm
pears
and
joy,
for
people.
Sarah. And then
please show us how.
My personal favorite is the Cabernet Sauvignon, and you'll notice it's empty.
Because she drank it all, people.
Drank it all.
She drank it all.
It's got a secret little hint after you swallow the wine that's full of cayenne pepper. It's hot. Hot, people.
Of course you would like that, Ho.
Yeah,
of course. Show us how to open the bottle.
Oh,
are you zooming in, Aaron?
I'm not going to be very talented because my nails are not that great. But the nice thing about these bottles of wine is you don't need a wine opener. Ha! I know. You just take the foil off.
How do you do it, Luz?
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
Is this like sex talk? Okay. So you take the foil off. Oh my God.
Can you?
And then it recorks.
See, I call
it's
that
the greatest invention ever. So
I call it a pull-off.
Savor your wine for a few days. Yeah, Raquel, you're gonna love this cab. I'm telling you.
Savor
Yeah.
some right in there.
We have we have an honorary guest, honorary ho in the house today.
That's right. Woo!
So, are you a fan of white wine, or would you like something other?
Oh, no.
no.
Oh, no. Come on over here. Oh, yeah. There's your seat.
You got to get in between. We get to sandwich you.
I love it.
Thank you, Aaron.
Worst places to be.
Beautiful. You know how to adjust it.
Yep. Fantastic.
This is our guest today, people, Brett.
Brett, everybody.
It is such a treat to have a guest. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. It really is a treat to have some male energy to bounce off our ideas. We appreciate that.
No,
How does it feel to be an honorary ho?
I was actually, for a couple of weeks now, I was hoping it would happen. So when I got like the green light, it would. I'm all like, let's go. So I knew it wasn't going to affect till like right this very moment until I took the set with you guys. But I was kind of like anticipating the past few days. All right, I got to get a ho mode now because here I am.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Now step by step on the set, I'm getting sandwiched in. We're not even on 2 minutes underway. I'm feeling pretty hoish right now, so I love it.
You
Yeah.
got it.
That's hot. That's hot.
So
to
cheers.
our host.
Well,
Cheers to the
welcome.
host. To the
Yes.
host.
Cheers.
Everyone, you're witnessing our first ho. Word.
And I love it too because often, drinking and the shows that I host have a pretty common connection, but it's never white wine. So I love this
Oh.
is definitely
Now, what is your drink of choice on your show?
Well, it's usually going to be like a beer. It's usually going to be a whiskey. It's going to be something like that, something dark, something a little more.
Manly.
No, I guess you could say manly, but just maybe something a little stronger on the palate. I guess certain beers aren't as strong, but white wine I love. It's usually something I don't have outside of dinner, but hey.
Now, what do you
always up
think
for
of
trying
that?
new things. This is
Outside of
delicious,
dinner.
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Read the percentage on that, Luce. We won't want him thinking it's weak sauce.
Oh, not at all.
It's 12.5%.
Oh, okay,
Hello.
yeah.
You
there
know,
go.
for a
Keep-
white
keep
wine.
the beer. Keep
yeah,
the beer.
For a
Yeah.
white wine, that's got it going on.
Absolutely.
So, Brett, before we completely attack you and suck you into our show here, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about your show?
Oh, yeah. So I've been hosting the show now for a couple of months here on Go Live Vegas. I've hosted previous shows in the past, and it's great because most of the shows, whether I've been a guest or I've been a host, usually have the sports or the sports gambling connection of somehow. So this is completely out of my comfort zone, but I'm so happy to be a part of it. I'm always down to get involved in any kind of Go Live Vegas programming. I've been involved with like Aaron's whole network and growing platform now for a couple of years. My show takes place on Wednesdays afternoon, 1 Pacific time. It's called Student of the Game, where I break down everything in the world of sports, all the headlines, all the scores, all the news, all the rumors, all the trades, and everything in between. So it's been a blast. I can't thank the audience enough. It's been very interactive. I know you guys have very much had the same here on your program.
Yeah,
So
we
just one of those
scare
things.
most people.
Yeah.
They're scared to call in
Yeah.
sometimes. Sarah had a question about sports. You asked it earlier
And
before we
I
were on
did?
the air. Yeah.
Do you remember what it was?
Raquel remembers. She was laughing.
And for the record, really quick, anyone tuning in, I mean, these ladies are very attractive, but I actually do this on my own show. So this isn't like just me freaking out right now. I've been actually talking to Aaron for
Oh my
literally
God.
years to get this place a little cooler because I'm fine. It's literally just the forehead. You look at me, I'm dry as a bone right now, but that forehead gets going.
Are you, though? Are
That
you?
being said, I like it. I like it. I'm beautiful. Yeah, I should have came on sooner. This is great. But no, that's actually already helping a lot. But no.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't do this for nothing.
And it gets a little steamy in here, and it's not just because the vibes we all bring to the table. But no, absolutely. Student of the Game every Wednesday right here on Go Live Vegas on all our social media platforms. Check it on Roku, check it on YouTube. And I love it because, again, as we expand the network, as we expand our horizons, we're adding more different types of content, more genres, and that's where you guys come in perfectly. Because I don't even know, because you guys are kind of like a mix of, honestly, just listening to you the past couple of weeks, listening to you now for the first couple of minutes, you guys are like that mix of breakfast television and like Howard Stern that I'm like all for. You guys like walk
Oh, I like
edge.
that.
You walk the edge, but you also have a little like, Hoda with a glass of wine on the Today Show in the morning. You kind of blend those two worlds together. So it works perfectly.
I just don't want to end up being like morning mimosa on American
Right,
Dad.
I love the reference. I was going to say, there's maybe some people who actually, I love that morning mimosa is now more popular for
Right?
like examples of breakfast television
Yeah.
than actual breakfast
because
television shows.
yeah,
right.
well, because they drink heavily, right?
Oh,
the show
absolutely.
starts after.
They just
there are
get
shows
plastered.
where they drink heavily at breakfast?
Well, it's
Right.
animated, so you got to be.
Oh.
I know you're.
Yeah, I was
losing-
gonna say.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
you
here?
better
Yeah, I
figure
was gonna
that
say,
out.
usually I'm using the different ones here. Now we're good. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I did a little research on your show,
I love it.
and
Man, this is great. I'm feeling so much cooler now. This is fantastic.
is it-
Oh,
Karen,
yeah.
I
You know,
mean,
I'll put it in
Sarah,
the
you
middle.
gotta adjust that shaft toe.
Yeah.
I'll
Get
is
it
that
up in
right?
ya.
Is that right?
Get it.
Aaron, am I heard? What's happening?
heard.
Hello?
What is this now? Serenity?
It's
Hello?
Serenity.
Serenity Now!
That is
Serenity.
delicious.
Do you know about Serenity Now? Do you know what that's from, love?
Enlighten me.
Seinfeld. Perhaps you're familiar.
What episode is it?
Well, I'm sure I don't know, but it was a episode. It's the Serenity Now episode.
Right.
So George's father is running his own business in the garage or something. He's going nuts, and George is trying to sell whatever it was they were selling. I don't even remember what it was, but Frank, George's father, had someone that was just, the bell was ringing. He was selling the merchandise right and left. And George was like, Serenity Now!
Oh, I love it.
And his father was like, Serenity, because you know how
Yeah.
they are. He's always screaming.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Both Jason Alexander and Jerry Stiller were just
yeah.
presenting master class of screaming. And I get where does Frank Costanza rank for you on all-time TV dads?
Oh my God, at the very top.
Really?
Very top.
Yeah.
He's right up there.
Well, name a few. Name a few.
Oh, you got your Homer Simpson. Who's the guy on the Family Guy? What's the dad's name?
Peter Griffin.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. He's up there. Luce.
American
Opinions?
Dad.
Stan.
Stan.
Yeah.
Stan.
What do you guys think of Al Bundy? Were you ever a fan of Married with Children?
Oh my
I
God.
am.
Yeah.
We were just talking
Absolutely.
about Christina Applegate earlier.
Oh, yes, she's
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
lovely. No, Al Bundy. Now, I know a lot of people who can't watch that show along with The Simpsons as if it's real. They feel that the dads are a little too put upon,
Right.
that their lives are a little too difficult to watch. And
Raquel, I
it's
don't
not
either. It's okay.
it's not funny for them. Raquel, what did she say?
She doesn't remember the question.
We'll get. We have
Who
research.
asked a
You
question?
had something about research on my show, but I like this tangent. I'll bring it back full. No, I'm remembering. You continue. You continue.
Okay, well, I have notes because I know I'm going to forget shit.
Oh, that's
Okay,
all good.
that's what I do.
Okay.
See,
I
and
love
I come on the show blind.
She doesn't know what's
that's a
happening.
perfect
I have
co-
no idea what's happening.
That's perfect
No
balance.
idea.
That's what true co-hosts do. I've co-hosted shows where, as Aaron knows and Raquel knows, I have co-hosted shows on this very network where my co-host has very much come in blind to all the happenings in the world of sports as well. I know you would like that, Aaron.
Raquel's watching. Raquel,
Yeah.
what was it that Sarah said? She was asking a question about sports earlier that made you giggle
I don't know
for
that
an
I was
extended period of time.
Asking a question.
It was something
I
about
don't-
steroids. Were steroids used in?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, do you feel that it's important that steroids be used in T-ball?
Absolutely. I mean, they're using everything else, right? Let's get the
Exa-
kids juiced as well.
Well, and
it
that's
makes it a play,
it.
even playing field. And they get it into their systems earlier. Why not?
Well, you know what I enjoyed about
Can you
your
just
show
imagine
in particular?
like the bulkiness of those kids?
Oh my God. Well,
like
and that-
she was saying, like a 6-year-old coming out.
And
You're
yeah.
T-ball.
Yeah, and that's where they say, you're not supposed to get your kids into weight training too early. It may stunt their growth, but it's all good,
But how is that different than giving them a sex change operation at the age of 5?
Well, yeah.
Understandable. And that's like the
Like, let's just get to it, people.
that's the discourse that's kind of been going on forever in terms of parenting. Like, how soon is too soon? Like, as much as you want to joke about, like, as we all
Are
want
you
to
a
joke
parent?
about it. I am not a parent, but
Excellent.
I have plenty of friends who are dabbling in that dynamic. So
Oh God!
Let
Can you
them
stop
dabble,
them?
it's fun.
Can you
Yeah.
stop them? Because I was gonna before we had him on here before I got to air out the grievances.
I'm
It's
sorry.
so lovely that you're here so that
Yeah.
you can participate. Because I want to know from both of you: do either one of you, like, let's say you just wake up, you're already in a shitty mood. Nothing's even happened yet. The day has yet to go on where more shittiness can happen. You're already all messed up, right? Do either of you have a go-to? Kind of a saying or a mantra that can cheer you up? And if so, what is it?
Do you need a minute?
Here, I'll
Mine
start.
is a dog licking.
Okay, see now that's
I don't
an
have a
actual
mantra.
that's an
I don't have
actual
anything I
physical
say to myself.
occurrence. That's an
I wake
actual
up
occurrence.
to 4 dog faces in my face, and I just take the dog lickings. They want the belly rub. Like, I can't be in a bad mood.
What you got, Brett?
I just give it a good old, like a good top classic dad sigh. Fuck me. Get up and push it moving. Or push it, keep it going, keep it pushing.
You're gonna push through.
Yeah,
You're gonna power
and-
through this.
Yeah,
shit.
but I mean, like, I know anyone can just say that, but you have to have a little bit of the self-deprecation in there. You have to just kind of sigh and say, "Man, this fucking sucks." I don't like this, era of false positivity where you have to sugarcoat everything. Me personally, if it sucks, say it sucks. It helps a lot.
Do you stare in the mirror and are like,
Absolutely.
I attract goodness. Today is going to be a great day. I am full of love and support.
With each passing sentence, it's getting further and further away.
God doesn't give me anything I can't handle.
No, that being said, I think like when you take it with that kind of I love it. When you take it
Brett's
with that,
sweating,
yeah,
people.
I feel like like some kind of like ancient pharaoh or something right now. But no, I think when you take it like with that kind of approach, it's easier to flip put a positive spin on the day when you realize it's always sucked. It's kind of like that ironic, like, oh, can it get any worse than this type of approach? And then,
Yeah.
it's something bad happens. That's usually the joke. But normally when you just say, all right, fuck it, it's one of those type of days. And then sometimes you wake up, you say, all right, it's going to be a good day. But a lot of times good days turn to shit and bad days get better. So I think a lot of times you just kind of have to say, all right, at least when you know right away what it's going to be, you could at least adjust earlier. Nothing's worse when it's one of those kind of stagnant days and it's kind of uneventful,
Now,
and then you're throwing for a
What happens
curveball.
when you aren't prepared in that sort? Like you're having a shit week.
Oh, man.
And so day 7 comes along, you're like, God damn it. Like, is there something you throw in your coffee that morning?
Wow. Yeah, probably some of that brown substance we were talking about earlier, some of that dark stuff when I first joined.
Wow.
I mean, it's one of those things where I guess at that point you have, 4 of the 5 tallies down, if you will. And you just kind of say, screw it, we just got to get through this one now, even if you have to crawl towards the finish line.
You just crawl for the Baileys.
You just yeah, exactly. There's going to be a whole lot more of this, a whole lot more of anything else you may want, especially if it's your weekend or you have something special or fun planned. So
Kahlua not bad either.
Oh, absolutely not.
There's a new caramel. It's a salted caramel Baileys. Have you had it?
It's like a candy, or is it a liqueur?
It's a liqueur.
Oh, speaking of which,
you
could you
might-
just hand over the Serenity?
You can add it to your coffee.
Aaron needs a top off.
Or you
Don't you,
can
Aaron?
just simply, drink the bottle and then have your coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
I prefer that. It gives me heartburn to add it to my coffee, so I prefer to chug first and then have the coffee.
yeah.
Well, neither one of you are appreciating something that I am quite certain that is true for both of you.
Okay.
That I get to utilize too.
Was
So
this
when
a
I wake
serious
up,
question? Because
well, yeah,
That's why I adjusted here. I pulled the mic a little closer.
He's into
took
it.
a sip. I'm
He's-
ready, baby.
He's even sweating. No,
Yeah.
so my go-to is at least I'm not pregnant. At least I'm not pregnant,
Yeah.
people, and you all can use it too. It's for everybody who's not pregnant. When you wake up in a shit mood, you just remember you don't have to bring another creature into this world. There are no more offspring. It brightens my day.
you understand.
Sometimes it's what I go
You understand that annihilates half the population right
to. Well,
there.
why? They're not pregnant either, are they?
Oh, they probably are. And
Oh,
so this does
half
not
the
apply to them.
population cannot possibly be pregnant.
Oh God, yeah. Do you know that there's a baby born every 3 seconds?
Sweet baby Jesus. God bless
Exactly.
these people. All right. Well,
It's like, where are they coming
but,
from?
Hey, Luce.
All sorts of
Luce.
crevices at this age.
So back to me.
Back to you.
Which, if you haven't noticed, Brett, is what the show is about. So back to me is the name of the game here. And back to me, I'm not pregnant. And you're probably not either, you whore.
Oh my
and
God.
hey, are
As far
you?
as I know.
No.
Raquel's
Probably not.
all in for menopause.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
thinks menopause is fun.
Well, it is. You need a few more fans.
See, we
But-
as women, we spend a third of our lifetime through puberty
Hand me
and
your-
period,
hand me your-
and then we
Absolutely.
spend the
You got
second
it.
third of our lives with periods and acne and
Or can you take it?
nonstop
You got
hormonal issues. And then the last third of our lifespan is spent in menopause, where we have hot flashes and we curse the men in our lives.
Yeah.
It's like we don't get
Could
a
you
break
scoot
for
you
our
down?
entire
It's a very
Now, men-
segmented life, right? Men's a little more fluid, a little
Yeah,
more
you
just
guys
streamlined.
have like wet dreams and then it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically go through that awkward stage where literally everything downstairs changes, and then it's all like it's pretty much kind of the same from that point onward. I guess the functioning may not always be the same, but in terms of how it's supposed to work, in practice anyway, in theory,
I hear
is the same.
scientifically. Now you can modify this because you have firsthand experience.
Right.
My understanding is that men go through their change,
Mm-hmm.
right, which is usually at like between 12 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys go through a major life change at about 26, 27, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So if you're dating and married before that, you're probably going to be divorced and moving on to somebody else after that.
Wait. What is the change at 26 or 27?
20 there well, like
What
you
do they
and
do?
I as women, we have a life change around 32, 34.
We do?
We do. Where,
What did I do?
Where we no longer want to wear certain types of clothes. We no longer want to act a certain way.
She's
What?
basically saying your boys downstairs stop having the same type of juice they once did
Yeah,
at that
that's-
point. And now you have to work extra hard essentially to keep the testosterone flowing within you. And that's why you see a lot of 30 and 40-year-olds kind of reinvigorating themselves through workouts, through different supplements, more so than they may have had in their 20s, because in their 20s they basically still had all that reserve tea in the bank, if you will, and now they're starting to run out of it a little bit more. I mean, you could go on with your conspiracy theories about how certain things out there are draining it, but either
Thanks,
way,
ref.
yeah, right. But
Telling it like a sports announcement.
that's it. Aaron's smiling. He's like, this is what he
Very
does
black
at
and white.
every show, right?
Do
It's
you
like
know
everything
any
has to be
30 or 40-year-olds?
everything has to be commentary. No, but it's just
No,
one
but
of the, yeah, it's
he
one,
doesn't. He doesn't know any of them. Do you
No.
hear what you just said?
What?
I just asked you if you
What?
know any 30 or 40-year-olds because you just said a couple seconds ago you get to be 30 and 40 and you do this, and I'm like, how does
as
he?
far as men or
Whatever
like-
you were just saying. What was he just saying a few seconds ago? Because
No,
you were
it's-
the one that
Oh my
asked him.
God, drink more.
Yeah, right. It's no, basically what I was
Your
saying
glass is
in the
empty.
gist when you're
It
in
is
your
not.
when you're getting your 30s and your 40s, you often see like a reinvigoration in guys because they get that testosterone back. They
But do you know them? That's what I was asking.
do like on do I know examples? Oh, absolutely.
Actually,
You
what
know
I was
30
saying,
okay.
Yeah.
what I was actually saying is what men think they want in their teens. Now, this isn't relevant to everybody because I know many people that met their spouses like in middle school and high school and have been with them for 60 years. That's a special breed,
Yeah.
people. That's not normal.
Exception, not the rule.
But for the norm, what men and women want when they're in middle school and high school is very different. Like it changes.
Yeah.
Like your priorities change, and for men that happens around 27, and for
Mm-hmm.
women it doesn't happen until about 32, 34.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of them in a way go hand in hand because since I'm not saying necessarily your sex drive goes away, but at the same time, your sex drive is channeled differently when you get to that certain age because of that kind of aligns in the differing, options at the time in the landscape and just what you want, your desires, your needs are very, very much going to be different at that phase of your life. And again, in between that, the men's
Is it because you're questioning at that point? Like you're conscious of your choices, whereas in like middle school and high school when all the hormones are hitting
Yeah,
you, all you want to do is reproduce?
I think
Hit that.
I think it's at that point it's unapologetic where it's kind of what you just said. It's the urge, it's the sexual tension. You have to get it out.
I love how society like frowns upon nature,
Mm-hmm.
where men and women like naturally want to fornicate
God-
early in life.
God forbid we be animals, which
Right,
we are.
which we
Right,
are. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
There you go. Preach.
That's right, Quagmire.
No, and I think it's because of that, the change in priorities, the shift there, and also the bodily shifts. I think the landscape, hey, the competitive
Yes.
landscape. We're using sports idioms and sports metaphors all day long here.
Oh, I interpreted that completely
Yeah.
different. I'm thinking like runway,
landscape,
shaving,
yeah, it's for like
landscaping
bodily
down there.
landscapes. Right, now that's a runway up,
Which is another sport in and of itself. There are many
Absolutely.
sports. Do you ever talk about them on your show? Or do they all involve a ball?
Or balls,
sti-
plural.
a ball, a stick, something of the like, right?
Puck,
Yeah.
something along those lines.
Yep.
Now, yay sports balls. What I wanted to talk about with you is, it seems to me, and forgive my ignorance, I'm very naive about sports. I've had a few people in my life that were into them.
Right.
Aaron's dying. Thank you, Aaron.
Raquel says,
and-
"What the f?"
Yay shooty hoops.
Shooty
here's
hoops.
here's my thing.
Internal
There
joke.
seem to be very many shows about regurgitating a game.
Oh yeah.
Why is that, and what makes you so joyful about it? Because I did watch your show, and I noticed that you were willing to admit that you needed to eat some crow.
Yeah.
That evidently your team did not win the super hoops, the shooty
What?
hoops.
The what?
And
The what?
The shooty hoops.
The
and
shooty-
and,
Yeah.
and Brett was gracious
I
enough.
need a sports analogy to
Well,
shoot.
he's the expert. He'll
Right.
give it to you. Where I'm going here is I was really impressed with that, because what I like about sports, here's my sport with sport people, I like the vindictiveness and the spite that comes about from sport people locking horns. That's yet another sport. that they
That's
don't
why I
know
like
it.
hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like seeing people get hit up again, blood
Yeah.
splatter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like the violence?
So tell me about your show and,
Yeah.
and how you address the whole idea that there are many shows about regurgitating a game.
Yeah.
Why does that need to be done, and what makes it more fun for you as it's your joy on your show?
That's actually a great question, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things I am in conflict with all the time, because ultimately the stuff I'm talking about, for the most part, every now and then you get stuff that like covers human interest. Every now and then you get stuff that battles into morality. For the most part, though, when you're talking about stats and box scores and performances and all that, it's kind of all bullshit. none of it really matters in the grand scheme of things. And I think when people try to think that of sports less of a be-all, end-all competition and more of just an entertainment brand. Now, on the field, on the court, in the ring, on the ice, it's all competition for the athletes themselves. But for people who sit where we sit, it's an entertainment brand. And, there we go. Okay.
On the ice, are you into figure skating? That is a sport.
It's fabulous. It's
Hey,
awesome.
I figure skate.
I think figure skating's rad. I think a lot of the sports you see in the Olympics looks like we got someone on the line. But
Oh, yay!
We have a caller.
Go loose!
Is it a gentleman caller?
Yay, gentlemen callers.
Why was I given a hockey stick?
Word.
Hello, gentleman caller. Genteel call. Hi, caller.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
And this is Laura.
Laura, hello. Welcome to Hose on Air. What do you have to say today?
Well, I have something to say about Sarah had a gentleman caller who was a
Wait, Laura, we can't hear you. Let's let our producer turn up the volume. Our producer needs to.
Here. Oh,
What? Oh, do
grab
we
a
need?
headset.
I have a headset. Oh, yeah.
Victor dude there yet?
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh my
Hang on,
God.
Laura.
Sarah's really loud in my ears.
Oh, sorry. All right, now we can hear you. Go,
Oh
Laura.
my God, I love that movie.
All right. Sarah the hoe.
Sarah's a
had
hoe.
A gentleman friend who was a big fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. I challenged him on this because I bitterly hate the Philadelphia Eagles. And just like the Philadelphia Eagles, he was a big crybaby pussy.
Oh,
And thank you,
And
Laura.
I don't think he's in the picture anymore. Am I right, Ho?
No, you're right, Ho. And thank you for noticing. No more Philadelphia Eagles. But Brett here, I am to understand, is a fan.
no, I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I am the opposite of a fan. I'm a New York Giant fan, so I actually despise the Eagles. Doing that on my very show pained me, but that's actually a big part about kind of what you were just asking. You have to,
Thank
when
you,
you are
Laura.
covering sports, separate, and thank you for the call, Laura.
Thank
You
you,
have to
Laura.
separate, I guess you could say fact from feeling or head from heart. You have to. And when I was looking at that game, I looked at the Philadelphia Eagles being the better team from top to bottom, the Kansas City Chiefs. Early on, that appeared to be the case. But then there was a lot of defensive breakdowns for one team. Patrick Mahomes, the best football player on the planet, let
I
alone
am to
quarterback.
understand that he's actually Jesus Christ reincarnated.
Essentially.
And
yeah.
I am not
Yeah.
even in, if you can believe this, the
Yeah.
sports world.
Yeah, exactly.
Sports ball.
He's that mainstream. But
Yeah.
you know of names like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. He's now in that crop. And this game was a big reason why. And part of me, you mentioned eating crow. I had to eat crow for doubting one of the greatest of all time because, again, when looking at that matchup, I thought the Eagles were going to be the superior team. I thought it would be a very close game. And for the most part, it was. The Kansas City Chiefs got it done. And I was, in that case, hey,
didn't-
relax.
you didn't-
I'm
wait,
amending something here, Raquel.
You didn't think Jesus Christ could do it?
Not in that instance, no, because I thought Jesus Christ was going to have trouble just against all in all superior team on the line of scrimmage. But again, I guess you could say I and so many others overlooked the fact that in those type of moments, big time players often are the X factor, and the Kansas City Chiefs have, I guess you could say, more quote unquote Hall of Famers than the Eagles did. The Eagles may have a better crop of talent, but the Chiefs had more of those Jesus Christ mainstream guys than the Eagles did, and that's what shined through in the end. So it was one of those games I was kind of happy to be wrong on, but again, ultimately I gave a pick that wasn't right, and when you do that, you have to eat crow, and that's very much what I like to do on my show. We like to have fun. We like to have a lot of, laughs and a lot of emotions because at the end of the day,
You're
sports.
Oh, wait, Laura, wait.
Oh, Laura's still on the line.
Laura,
Great.
Wait, Laura.
Beautiful.
All
Let me.
that estrogen. And the point is, the Philadelphia Eagles are crybabies, whether they win or lose.
No, I mean I get you. The Philadelphia Eagle fan base is
Laura, thank you.
yeah.
Okay, hoes. Bye now.
Oh,
No,
wait, and
hey.
he's going to comment on that because
Yeah.
I can't, Laura.
Absolutely, and
I know
love it.
Mariah. We're getting
what,
there.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the Philadelphia Eagles being crybabies?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say
my
that
God.
anybody who loses the Super Bowl usually has that connotation
Post
placed
stories.
upon them. That being said, the Philadelphia Eagles fan base is very irrational whether they win or they lose. So usually, regardless of the outcome, it's going to be a very volatile, explosive type of situation. As a Giant fan, I loved watching them suffer. But again, on my show, I like to kind of go with the head over the heart, and I thought they were going to win that game. But again, it's an important part of this overall sports analysis, sports handicapping, sports betting, just sports information in general to really narrow down the things that are going to happen as opposed to the things that you want to happen. And I think that's a very important distinction, whether you cover sports in the media aspect or whether you're just a fan of it.
Well, all right. How do you feel about feelings?
I guess it depends on the type of feeling. Some I say, I embrace. Some I push away.
All right. Well, there's a rumor going around
Mm-hmm.
in the dating field, and I can see that you're married, right?
I am
Wrong
not.
hand.
No.
Wrong hand. I was
Whoops,
gonna
wrong
say-
hand.
That's
You
a signet ring.
can't. You can't wear any ring. I don't know
Not
which
at all.
side of you I'm on. I can't be expected to know
It's all
which
good.
side the ring hand. I have all.
I
the
know
rings.
you're 3 drinks in. I
have,
understand.
and I have all the rings. Here's my point. What's happening?
Yep,
Oh my!
Yes, Richard.
Are you being harassed
I'm-
as a Charlie? Are you
I'm
being
Charlie.
harassed?
Hey, Charlie.
These are the
Hey,
angels.
baby. All right.
Oh,
Well,
good Lord.
what's happening now? Yes.
There's a backstory behind this one. That's why.
Oh, got it.
Pedicures are always and that's a good segue
Mm-hmm.
into where I'm going. There's a rumor going around in the new relationship field that you should be willing to date someone who you're not necessarily physically attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, understand me. This does not mean that you can view them as repulsive. Oh, am I ringing? You
No,
should
you're
take
fine.
those
No,
off.
you're fine.
No,
Yeah,
those,
you
those
don't
are
need
those are
them.
done.
Again,
You don't-
Laura, thank
you. don't need 'em.
You
Yes,
should-
Laura.
you should do
cry
that.
babies.
You should do
Laura's
that.
an authority on
Come do that to
crybabies.
my show. We want more callers.
Oh my
please.
gosh, I will hook her up. Yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah.
You
She's-
could
she's
call
gonna
in and
hook up.
say whatever the hell you want.
And she's a
Raquel
Cowboys
felt
fan.
Raquel felt
beautiful.
that Jesus would actually play more something like lacrosse.
Right.
Well,
she commented earlier. I
Jesus
felt it would
can
be
play
more like
all the
badminton.
sports, from what I've heard. I know a little bit
Probably,
about Jesus.
probably a hell of a
because-
water skier if he could walk.
Well, you could probably do.
Walk on water.
Yeah.
Right.
You can
All
do
right.
anything.
That's
My
good,
mother's
yeah.
from Kansas City, and she rather fancies
Oh my God,
Jesus
where'd you get that?
as not being able to do any wrong. But where I was going with
About
in
the
the dating
yeah.
dating someone unattractive.
Right.
Now, that you cannot find them repulsive. Okay, we're not suggesting that you're about ready to throw up when you see this person, but if they fit into a category of okay or acceptable people, this is a rumor, you should be willing to see what happens next. And would
Yeah.
either one of you have any idea as to why that is? Because there is an answer for that question. Anybody want to crack at it?
I'm going to let him go first because I missed the question.
My guess would
Thanks,
be.
Luce, for
my-
listening. Appreciate that.
My best guess would be I think it's because we often think appearance has something to do with compatibility when it has nothing to do with it. And I think when you go with someone who's not maybe as attractive to on the surface level, at least, to your for your perception,
Sure.
you are immediately erasing that roadblock outright. So when you're pursuing someone or pursuing some kind of romantic dynamic with someone who you may not find particularly attractive on an outward level, that's going to be the immediate focus, the compatibility, where when you're with someone who you do find someone more attractive on the surface level, you may beat around that bush because you just think this person's hot, this person's sexy, this person does it for me, even if they're not right for me. That would be my best guess.
Even if they totally suck,
Yeah.
because they're
But
cute.
wait, so going back to the animals that we are
Okay.
you saying that the initial law of attraction doesn't apply?
Oh, the law of attraction definitely applies.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's
Okay, wait, I want to hear something from you.
Go ahead.
I have issue with the way women present themselves today. And no disrespect to any ladies out there, but do you find the falseness of all the Botox and all the things attractive? Do you find it that appealing? And do you think that this woman, you go, oh my God, she's stunning. Look at all the work she's had done. She has an amazing amount of self-confidence, and that's hot.
That's a great question because on the surface level, it's going to appear that way. But if you know that many procedures have been done, there's no way, at least me, there's no way I could assume that woman is confident because she isn't.
Right.
At least off of that aspect. Now, if there's a legitimate reason where you truly believe your life is better, that's fine. Again, there's exceptions to all the rules. But for the most part, it's just for outward appearance.
It's
Yeah.
like a social, what would you call it? Peer pressure.
Yeah.
To look a certain way right now.
Yep.
And to me, it's like, oh my God, you have no self-respect and no self-confidence that you have to go out and you have to shoot yourself up to look a certain way. And I just want to know from guys' perspective, do you find that attractive?
No.
Being that you are single and looking.
Initially, I could get over it. If it's excessive, like it often is, no. Because so often, both men and women will do that initial procedure, that initial surgery, And that actually, for the most part, truly benefits them. You could just tell their quality of life improves because it was a roadblock. Whether you say it was a lazy road taken or whatever, it was something they did, and now they're happier for it. But then when they start doubling down and tripling down, and next thing you know, they're doing it over
it's
and
almost like an
over
addiction,
again.
right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it really comes off that way to the point where the bettering yourself kind of seems secondary. It more so seems now you're trying to be perfect. And then there's nothing to me attractive about that.
That's so
Now,
refreshing. I appreciate that. So back to the question.
Do you
did he
prefer
answer?
balloons or titties?
That's, you know.
And do you know the difference?
Yeah, absolutely.
Giggity,
I'm going to say this right now, and I'm not trying to pivot. If I had a choice, I'm taking ass over everything because a great friend of mine once said it's a lot easier to fix a pair of tits than it is an ass.
Well, not
I don't
nowadays.
disagree.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you could split
mean,
that hair
even
because
men
now,
get those
No, you're
implants
right.
now.
You're right. But as far as
Ass implants.
visually appealing, can we add that asterisk there? The way it actually looks like it works. You know what I'm saying? You could do any kind of breast procedure, and a lot of times unless it's really, really botched, it's going to look decent. The ass, not so much. So I guess I'd say titties over balloons because as much as I like, the big boys, balloons often are just so much like it's overdone. It's when
It's like the hood of a car.
right. And it's almost like when it's that excessive, it's impossible to feel real about it. Because you look at it, you're like, this isn't real. So a lot of the fun about boobs are the fact that they're real. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel that
that's a good quote.
that men in general, and I'm not
I would so get canceled for all this on a sports show. Wow, this is actually very refreshing.
Do you feel that men in general, because you are our representation of male energy here, really care if it's fake? Because I have been told by many men, if it looks good, I don't care.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on that in your generation? And do you feel that most of the people in your generation even share that opinion about naturalness?
I think it depends really on like whether or not it's all going to depend if the woman does it for him, and his answer will be based off of that. So it could change. He could move. It's essentially another sports analogy. He can move the goalpost, if you will. His standards will change. The way where he draws the line, if you will. He'll shift that depending on what he thinks of the woman, and that happens all the time. Guys will say like, this is a deal breaker, and then they'll pivot. They go, okay, never mind, and then they'll say that's a deal breaker. So I think it's just one of those things where, again, kind of visually, it's going to pop initially for the sex drive. But if you really are looking for someone who you want to start something with and commit to, you're going to want a semblance of reality. And the more of that they add, the more detached it seems they get from that reality.
Oh, yeah. The more fake
Yeah.
things that you put into your appearance, which brings me back to the original question, which
TikTok
is...
filters. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I hate that shit. And thank you for mentioning that. And by the way, if anyone sees any of that, she took the photo. Because I don't know how to use TikTok filters.
I don't know what she's talking about.
What? Anyway, so the point is, do either of you know why you should continue to date someone who is only in the okay or acceptable, not repulsive, let's keep in mind, but okay or acceptable category in your perception? Why should you go ahead and continue that according to some very astute dating coaches? Anyone?
I gave my best guess. I guess my second guess would be...
and that was good.
No, and I guess my second guess would be maybe the sex life's a little bit better because, like, there was kind of always a joke, like, in high school, like, that's
Point.
not the question.
That's
not
the
question.
Here's the
I mean,
thing.
yeah.
You have guys that you respect more than others for their sports prowess.
Right.
And with the gentleman that I am speaking of,
You're saying who's
he
my man?
felt-
Are you saying who's my man crush in
Who's your man?
sports?
He
Okay.
felt that, for example,
Okay.
he felt that it was Federer. He felt that Federer added a level of class to things that Nadal and Djokovic simply cannot. Is that the same person, Nadal, Djokovic?
Yeah.
You know what?
No, I think...
What's the other guy that you mentioned?
No,
Who's the other guy?
There's three of
What are the three again?
There's three of them.
That's what your job is.
Novak Djokovic,
And-
Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal. Of the three, if I had to choose... God, I can't believe I'm
Wait,
saying this.
did I just
If
say-
I had to have cuddlies, it would be
Cuddlies.
probably Nadal.
Tell
Right.
me why.
Because mainly...
Cuddlies loose.
Yeah. I've always just liked his demeanor. I've always liked the way he represents his country, the way he represents the game, his style, the emotion he just puts out there when
Is he the one
plays.
that when he wins, he yanks off his shirt and does ape screams?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how is that
and
classy?
he's-
She knows way more than me.
Because
Oh my God.
How is that classy?
Because in sports, the more emotion, the more raw intensity that you could capture, those those candid, like, increments of time that you kind of just capture. That's what people really remember. People are going to remember games. People are going to remember final scores. They're going to remember performances. But when you see a guy ripping, like, holding up a title belt or a trophy or being doused in
It's moments.
champagne, those are the things that really resonate with people, because it's this, I mean, it kind of sounds corny, but it's the human spirit,
Are you familiar with
conquering.
Steve Yzerman?
Yeah.
I am told by people who know about sports, not me, so you might have to correct me.
Yeah.
That he went and took the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
There's a cups
Yeah.
of Stanleys.
Cups. Yeah.
There's a cup of
Giggity, giggity, giggity,
Like I don't know how
Cups
it
of
works.
Stanley.
I am to understand it's a very prestigious Sporty Hoops award.
It's the one Sporty Hoops trophy that no one gets to keep. You have it for the year, and then once, basically, it's actually right around this time of year. Once that your time is up, you give it back. Your team is etched in it, your names are etched in it, and then it goes to the next person.
Was that word you just used?
Etched.
Like an etch and sketch.
Oh, etched. Okay,
Yeah.
see, I love that you put it in terms I can
Yeah.
understand. Thank you.
Yeah.
So where I'm going with this is I am to understand that Steve Yzerman took the cuppies and went to a hospital and didn't want it filmed, didn't want the media to know about it.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of crazy cup stories.
And this
Cup.
makes them more cuddly.
Let's be clear about whether we're talking about cuppies or cups.
Oh yeah, right. Fair enough. Yeah.
What's the thing again?
The Stanley Cup.
Thank you.
Yes.
So how does someone like you feel about that, as opposed to, who did you just say your cuddly guy was? Nadal
Well,
Djokovic?
I'll put it this way, because
How do you say it, Naval?
Rafael Nadal. And
His name. So his first name is Rafael.
Yeah, Rafael. It's like people call him
Just
Rafa.
stick to Rafael.
Rafa Nadal. I've never talked about tennis this much on my own show. This is actually something else. Aaron even
Let's
acknowledges
talk about
that.
soccer and
Yeah,
hockey.
right. There you go. Let's talk about badminton.
It's Sporty Hoops.
No, I love
Badminton?
it. Yeah.
Who plays that?
Well,
I do.
don't know if anyone knows anybody who plays that in the mainstream. That being said, it's a hard game to really get good at. It's honestly like
Oh
mixing.
God, here he goes.
It's
I got my cleats. Let's talk about soccer.
It's kind of like mixing tennis, ping pong, and volleyball all together, I guess, if you had to say it.
Can they
Badminton.
drink too?
I mean, they
No.
probably do at some point. It's a sport. Any sport.
After the game.
Keep in mind, what you guys are watching on television is like the upper echelon. No matter where you go across America.
Are you sure?
Take two.
We're on?
Where
Okay.
did we lose them?
Yeah. We can go back to. Well, let's go back to me because that's fun.
Yeah.
Let's go back to.
Wait. Hold that thought. Are we live yet?
We're live.
Okay.
Thank you for checking.
Yes, because I don't see anything on the monitors, so I'm double checking.
I lost the
And
cork.
hi everybody. Sorry for the hiccup there. We lost feed for a minute, and before we
back.
We're
gauge back into the drunken state that we're in, I just want to check with our producer. At what point did they lose us? Or Raquel, or viewers, if you would text in.
We lost the audio first. It's like I said, there's a ghost.
I think we lost the
We
audience
have a
about
ghost
30
in
seconds
the studio,
in.
And
Yeah.
if anybody still online wants to comment as to where you guys lost us. Oh, Raquel's
Is
here.
anyone here?
You're
Yeah.
here. Where did you lose us, Raquel? So we can kind of backtrack a hair.
Mariah, where am I? Laura, where did you lose us? Anyone?
On our
Anyone?
end.
My guess would be about
On our end,
talking.
we have completed Sanders Winery Serenity, and we are moving on to Sanders Winery Harmony, because we are now in harmony.
I love harmony.
Such.
Raquel, any words of wisdom?
Yeah, I wanted to hear, so I'm standing.
Oh, do you remember where we left off?
We're
What was the
highly
last
entertaining.
thing that you
wanna
heard?
Chug the rest of that.
Yep.
Titties. Sports.
Titties?
That's the last time the audio.
Seriously?
Sports ball titties.
Came back for tennis.
Oh man.
So you
Okay.
missed the whole discussion about
Just heard Nadal.
titties
Okay.
or
Nadal.
balloons?
Okay, so
All right, who are the different people? I'm
Oh my
sorry.
God.
Please
It
educate.
doesn't happen, but every once in a while, the act of God.
What are you gonna do?
The ghost in the house.
the lost files. Someday they
do you-
will be released to the masses.
Yeah,
Just
okay,
know tennis
just so
talk.
we know, should we go ahead and rewind and discuss a little bit more, or was it captured on anything?
No, we just keep going.
Let's-
Okay.
It wasn't captured.
It wasn't captured. Okay, so titties or
Moral of the story. Moral of the story. You're right.
titties or balloons?
Titties over balloons.
That's where we left off.
Sweet
Nada-
baby
We
Jesus.
heard that you're an ass man.
Yes, we
Okay.
heard that. We heard that I prefer ass over titties, but I prefer titties over balloons. Nadal is my man crush tennis player, and then we're pretty much caught up.
Are we caught up? Okay.
Yeah. So now.
And I was lost completely because I
Yes.
don't
All right,
follow
we need to-
sports.
we
and
need to
weren't talking
wind it
about
down.
soccer.
Yeah. So we'll bring
or
it fu-
figure skating.
We can bring
or-
it full circle here.
All right. We have a couple of different avenues to do that from
Beautiful.
because we
Playing
were
with
winding.
the boys.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because we were winding down.
Cheers
with,
to the new wine.
Oh my
Yes.
God!
Harmony, everybody. We're in harmony.
Serenity now and harmony.
You missed it, but we went through an entire bottle of discussion. So now we're back on air. So we had to open a second bottle. And
and we're sorry. We apologize.
Sorry.
Something took over the audio. We apologize.
Over 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we have till 4:10.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks. So where I wanted to wind down to is
that's
since
good.
Nadal is your cuddly,
Cuddly.
how does that compare with, say, Iserman in the way that he took his cuppies?
Oh no, this is actually perfect. Now I remember what I was going to say
Now-
before we lost the
Good,
feed.
because
No.
I'm crossing over the sports balls to different sports.
I like, and you could use it for all sports because I remember this is exactly what I was going to. I covered combat sports for a long time, and I was even a fan of professional wrestling for a long time, which is a scripted sport. I like people. Yeah, I like people who dig in the moment, who are not afraid to be not only themselves but themselves turned up to like an 11 all the way up.
These go to 11.
Yeah, right. Unapologetically. And I think that's admirable. And I think that's, like I said, how those moments, those raw, real moments resonate with fans. Those type of athletes also resonate with fans. Those type of entertainers resonate with fans. So I think those type of media personalities resonate with fans. People who, whether they sometimes will swim upstream, sometimes people will, dig into the heels and dig their heels in and die on the hill. But I think those people who are unique like that, those are the ones you remember as opposed to just the person who maybe kissed the Stanley Cup and then say, all right, I'm done with it. As opposed to the guy who takes to the hospital, or as opposed to,
and doesn't want it filmed.
right, as opposed to the fighter who does some crazy antics at a nightclub on the strip after he wins the belt. Or a golfer who does something unique after winning the green jacket at Augusta. There's so many examples. NBA teams who fly over to Vegas and are partying with pro wrestlers after they win the whole
You
thing.
totally sound like you know what you're talking about.
I'd
He
like
does-
to think
well,
I do.
saw on
Sarah,
his show
I just
he
want to
did.
make a notation here. We
Please.
have a comment from Laura here.
I'm loving Laura.
And
Tune into my
Laura
show,
knows her
please.
And
sport.
Yes.
she feels that that the only sport you can drink on is beer pong.
She's not wrong, but I don't know any professional beer pong
Well, I was just
players.
about to say.
Who does
It is
that?
a
Kid
professional
Rock?
thing.
Snoop Doggy Dogg? Who does professional beer pong?
That's
Are you
Snoop Doggy
familiar
Dogg.
with the team?
Well, I was about to say Snoop may be doing in another avenue. Definitely, something kind of similar, but the substance is different.
Is it white and fluffy?
Beer pong.
It's more green and fluffy. And
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that being said, I think
Croquet. Oh my God, I love croquet.
Croquet. Oh, it's so fun. You
used
do
to
it
play
there's
it
one
as
you
a
can be
kid.
drinking. There's a good one that you can do
It's
while
not
you're
going to hurt
drinking.
anybody.
Oh,
You
you
get the
get
club
really
right down there.
bad at it the more you drink.
Absolutely.
It's fabulous.
But a lot of sports are like that and it numbs the pain. So.
How do you
I
feel
don't know
about
that
the way
I'd wanna
Tom
watch it on
Brady
TV.
decided to trade his marriage for his football career?
Now I love it. With 10 minutes, now we're actually asking a
is
question that would
happening?
probably be asked on my show. That being said, don't
Wait,
get me
wait. We
wrong.
have to
I'm
clue in
happy.
loose. We have to clue in loose.
Yeah.
The only reason I know about this is for reasons of somebody that you know filled me in. So now, could you please tell Lucy who Tom Brady is?
Okay,
And-
yeah, so-
and
I
can you
know
keep
who
it-
Tom Brady is.
He's a football.
2 sentences.
He's a
Brett.
football player who's pretty good, and by good I mean
I've seen the movie.
the
Thank you.
the best of all. What the Brady 80 or
But-
80 for Brady or whatever it is.
Who according
cornhole.
Who-
Cornhole is the best drinking game of all time. That's not even a hot take. That's a
Is it
cornhole
What
followed by
is happening right now?
Hey,
cornhole followed by shuffleboard.
what is cornhole? Because the last time I saw those
Oh, come
words
on.
put together,
Sanders Family Winery,
I saw a
everybody.
porn. There was a porn title. It was called Cornhole Hussies, and that's the
Hussies?
last time I saw the word cornhole. Is that like a what? Can you help us to
What is
understand?
happening?
Is cornhole a sport? Help
it's a-
us.
Have a
it's
drink.
all right. The people at the helm of the Go Live Vegas network are in absolute stitches right now, and cornhole.
What is cornhole?
It may not be the best. It may not be the most.
Is it an
appropriate
affiliated
name.
sport with the NFL?
It is no. It is.
Does Steve Eiserman endorse
It is a game with boards with a hole in the middle of the board. You attempt to place the bean bags into the hole. It's kind of like a horseshoes type of game, if you will. A lot of people call it bags because they don't like saying cornhole.
Is it on after shooty hoops?
No, they're actually it is on TV. They do televise the
Who are the professional
like the
players?
national tournament.
Oh my God, is Jesus Christ in it? Patrick Mahomes?
No, but at the same time,
I bet he'd be good.
Probably with his touch, he'd probably be very good. No, they have all kinds of things. They have cornhole. They have cornhole, dodgeball, like certain things like that are fringe sports, but like they'll occasionally air on certain networks. Yeah.
If Patrick Mahomes was on your
We
show,
have a
what would you
caller.
ask him?
Oh man, just
Wait,
about
we
any.
have a caller.
Oh, another
Talk about
caller.
a caller, yay!
We still have 10
Who's
minutes.
Here?
We
Who's
still have
here?
10 minutes.
Who's here?
Hello, Austin. You are live on air.
Who's on air?
Very professional.
Yeah, look,
All right, let's hold it against
she's
the mic.
full of
How's
professionalism.
Mississippi treating you?
Sweet baby Jesus.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
We're talking about cornholes. What have you had to say about that?
Cornholes.
Well, cornholes. Now, cornholes like are you talking about the Husk game, or what other kind of cornholes we're talking about here?
Help
The
us.
game. We're
The
talking
game,
about the
yeah.
game.
Okay, good. Now, yes, I love it. We got them out at our farm. It's a fun game.
That's it.
That's it. What can you say about cornholes? Other than something that's perverted and nasty.
Well, I don't think he was calling to the show. He was calling me about something completely unrelated, but you are now live on air and mic'd.
Wow.
Oh,
So-
well, how about that? Well,
How about that?
How about that? How about it?
That's what happens.
That's what happened. Well, I'll let you guys get back to the live
Oh.
show, and I will call you later.
Okay, thanks, Austin, for calling in. It was a pleasure. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Yep. Brett needs more wine. And
Oh,
how
no.
and how
I
do
gotta
you
walk
feel?
outta here.
How do you feel about Tom Brady just blowing off according to the powers
Sacrificing
that
his
be?
marriage for football.
Please.
I think it was tough because I think at the same time, yes, she did a lot to sacrifice over the last, 13, 14 years for him. But at the same time, it's hard because if the only thing at that point in time was the only thing that would make Tom Brady happy was playing football, it's hard to judge him for proceeding to do that. But at the same time, you can't blame Giselle for walking.
How do you feel about someone like that just hogging the limelight? And I'm all about older athletes holding their own.
I think in most circumstances that'd be a factor. With her, it's not. She makes more money than he does. She's worth more than him.
In my question, this isn't about money. This
Yeah.
is about the simple idea. You've held this title for so long.
Yeah.
Isn't it time to let a young buck come up and take it?
Well, that's in the competitive case, no, because it's all about who's going to
Luce
Yeah.
fell asleep.
It's all.
We've
oh my
lost
God.
Lucie. She's
No.
dead. I hope
I'll
we're
say-
happy.
I'll say.
You gotta wind it
I'll
up.
say as long as you can play at a high level, and you want to play, there's no reason you shouldn't
When
play.
did this become a sports show?
I was gonna say we haven't even gotten to the pedicures yet.
Jesus
What's
Christ.
what did you
Yeah.
just say pedicures?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you already forgot.
What
she,
happened?
She mentioned it like 5 times in the
No
comment
more.
thing.
Oh my God!
Or in the
See,
comment thread.
I don't consider this sports, people. I want everyone to understand. I consider this relationships.
This isn't
in sports.
relationships.
Yes, it is because Tom Brady has a relationship
You
with
know what?
sporty
You're going,
hoops and
you're
shooting
going
hoops.
hypersonic.
and
I need to stop you now.
He has a
Vocal-
relationship
yeah,
with
here.
all of
Vocally,
the
you are
shit-
going
with all
hypersonic.
with all of the shitty. I don't have to drive. Hand me the bottle.
yeah, I was gonna say,
You know
yeah.
what,
Oh, my
Brett?
Lord.
I would like to know.
Uh-huh.
Our show is called Hose on Air. What did you expect to happen here, and what would you like to talk about?
I think we have it covered. No,
It helps to take the cap off.
The-
Aaron.
We have sound effects now.
yeah.
Aaron.
No,
We got
once I got a taste of it, just looking at it a few weeks ago, when I knew I would possibly be on it in the near future, I said, "Oh, this is a show that could go in a million different directions." Raquel told me the same type of thing. Asked Brett if he needs a safe word for cornhole. That's disclosed. That's up.
Wait,
That's between you
they
and
already
your
knew about
significant
the
other.
cornholes?
A cabbage.
They
Cabbage.
I had a feeling the show would go somewhat like this, and I'm very
Tinkerbell.
happy it did. But at the same time, I couldn't truly predict where we'd go,
'Cause
and
we
that was the
don't
case
know.
as well. Exactly.
We have no clue.
exactly, and that's what makes it fun.
That's not. What did you just say, Luce?
We have no clue where the show goes.
Wait a minute. I have clues.
No, you don't.
I
I
Get into the
don't.
notes now with 3 minutes left.
She
You got
has
one.
notes. I don't have notes. I have no clue walking in what I'm in for.
Do you
I
go
don't
out
know.
with the guys? And if so, where do you go? And what do you talk about? And what does going out with the guys constitute?
Uh-huh.
Can it not include sports?
I'm like taking it all in. Yeah. I'm like really soaking this question in
For
right
example,
now.
for example, would you go out
You are
with
the
the
voice
guys?
of your generation
Yes,
right now.
I must
You
give a
are.
scathing, riveting answer
are.
for the masses.
For example,
Right.
would you go to drag queen brunch?
Oh, yes, that's.
I would myself. I would not be against it. The people I hang out with, a few, yes. For the most part, on an all-around basis, no. So that would probably be no-go. What
No
constitutes
go.
going out with the guys? Honestly, at one point, it was probably a lot more wild, a lot more flamboyant at one point, where you kind of didn't really care where the night would take you. Now it's
now-
like, no, we need an itinerary, we need a schedule, and most of the time it revolves around just hanging at each other's house. A lot of times you'll bring the wife.
Let's go to the
you'll bring
lodge
wife.
and play pool.
Right, exactly. let's go to PTs and get some shuffleboard in, and that's really what it is. If you're not going to stay at your house and order a fight, or have a game on, and have people over.
Did you ever see the
some
movie
food,
Hall
some
Pass?
Beer, great movie.
Hall pass?
Underrated comedy.
I feel like that's the moment you're talking about.
Yeah, like when him and
Like you get a complete hall pass to do whatever the hell you
Right,
want.
and when-
the guys get together and go out and they have no idea what they want to
Bingo.
do.
The scene
They
with
get
Whit-
tired
Yeah.
super early.
That's
They end
what
up
it is.
going to Applebee's to
Yup.
get dinner and then like,
They
let's
drink-
pick this up tomorrow
They drink
because
too
we're
much
too
wine.
tired.
They want to put a bow on
Applebee's
it.
is for serious couples.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
Have you seen 16 Candles?
I have.
You have.
I
How
have.
did that happen? Oh my God, how did that happen? How did you see it? I would think that
It was on television and I watched it.
Really? Do you remember much about it?
No, I do. I'll be honest, and I don't mean to break anybody's heart out here as an 80s fanatic. I'm not a huge John Hughes fan for the simple fact high school was not that hard. Go watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That's how high school is like. It's not like the Breakfast Club, I'm telling
When did
you right
you
now.
go to high school? 2006?
Actually, it was after that.
Oh my God!
say
I gave
before
him
so
too much
bad.
credit.
I wanna say, but
gave
you
him
did. You did.
Did you just graduate like this year? Oh my God! Is he? Have you even graduated?
It was-
Oh my God! Did we just go coming to high schools for a
Does
guest?
this
Oh my
talk show
God,
host
Aaron!
not even have a high school diploma?
Oh,
Find out next
my
week.
God!
Really?
Oh
I
my
graduated.
God!
I graduated 2012. So
Are you sure? From where?
Durango
Did you
High
do
School
your
out
wait?
here.
Did you do your GED or did you actually graduate?
I actually graduated, but in
Okay.
hindsight, man, the GED probably would have been a smoother way out.
Yeah, well, yeah, I second
is
guess
true.
my choices
I mean, it's
too.
CCSD. We're like the 49th in the country. So
Hey, do all of your sports people have high school educations?
yeah, because given the fact that all those sports people have to usually go to college for the big leagues for basketball, football,
oh my God!
stuff like
And
that.
you're a question.
They
a
have
good-
to get in there.
You're a good. Oh, are there anybody who just were sort of in high school and didn't go to college that are on teams?
Yeah,
Yay, sports teams.
yeah. He's a baby. Kind of.
Aw.
There's certain players who were born in
That
foreign.
makes him 20, 26, 27?
29.
29.
Mm-hmm.
I was close.
That's adorable.
Did
Adorable.
you
To
opt into
brag.
college?
Did you go?
I opt into college. I've never heard it phrased.
Do you have
like
a
that.
degree in shooty hoops?
I kind of. The media behind shooty hoops, yes.
You seem to know what you're talking about
Well,
on your show.
I played high school football out here. I got recruited to a school.
And no
out-
babies.
I got no babies. I got recruited to school to play college football out in Iowa.
He
played,
can't know
In
that.
Iowa.
Played for 4 years. Played for 4 years of college football out there, and then began my
So
my
you
broadcasting
opted into
career out there.
college?
Yeah, I've just never heard a phrase like that. That's funny.
Well, it's not
no.
mandatory.
No, it's not. An opt in, opt out again is a very sports heavy term. So I'm thinking
Yeah,
like
but do
contracts
you
and
have
stuff
a
like that.
degree? Like
Well, it
a
kind of
college
is a
degree?
contract.
What's it in?
Sports media. So shooty hoop media.
And you do it so well.
do.
You really earned it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
where
you tapped
it began.
in.
It
You
began.
did.
It began there. I was lucky enough to host my own weekly talk radio show. I did all the play-by-play commentary for all. I couldn't do it for fall since I was busy with football, but for all the winter and spring sports, I did like all the live announcing. So
Winter and spring sports.
yeah, they
You
do
know,
it in
yeah.
seasons.
So,
Well,
folks,
as does
college
dating.
is an
Yes.
opt-in.
We're gonna talk about
I'm
that.
just telling you.
In
It's
like
not
1 minute,
mandatory.
because
I was
we
gonna
have
say.
we have 1
Can
minute.
I come back in the future?
We have 1
Yes.
minute left.
Did you-
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm not a sports freak. My husband isn't either, but he pulled
Yeah, the
up.
third,
They
the
know
third
nothing.
wheel, the third wheel, the sandwich.
My husband pulls up this video. I swear this kid was 8 or 9 years old. Did commentary.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
I'm trying. Yeah, he's amazing. The
young-
local kid out here.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's gonna. Yeah, I better get it. Like, I need to get a good network job quick because he's coming for all of our jobs.
All of your jobs.
He's a prodigy. It's
he
insane.
doesn't need college.
It isn't. No, he doesn't.
Need high school.
He don't need high school. He can get into a
Does
job
he
now.
play a sport?
No, because
No.
he's probably played some sports at one point. as
He's
little
a
kid.
commentary.
commentary. He's
No,
like what, 9?
He's like a 9-year-old sportscaster.
He's insanely-
His name is Jeremiah. What is his last name? I will let you guys know.
He's going to take over your job.
Yeah, everyone's job.
Everyone's
imagine,
job.
Imagine like a
He's now on
9-year-old.
CNN as a guest commentary
No,
at that age.
he's replacing Don Lemon. Yeah, that's actually a timely reference.
That's when you know that you were born to do a specific thing.
Please have this poor boy back. Thank you. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
yes,
I
I know we
love
will.
to have you back. You're the only one who's been brave enough to show up.
Yeah, thank you.
I battened down the
Thank you.
hatches. I dug into the trenches. I was ready to go
We're
with
not
it.
that scary,
we
right?
No, not at all.
We don't even get to cover
this
all of
helps.
that. I
This
have
helps.
so much more I wanted to ask you. To Brett.
We're going to. Brett,
To
thank
Brett,
you for being
Yes,
on
thank
the
you for
show.
being an honor to
Absolutely.
the host.
We will have you
You're
back
an honorary
anytime.
host.
Lot
An
left on the
honorary
table.
host.
We're going
Thank
to
you,
leave this
Brett.
open. Next time, there won't be
Word.
so much sports talk. Thank
Yeah,
you,
we got that
Sarah.
out of the way. Now
we're
it's
gonna
all
get
the
it-
stuff
Now
you
it's
wanna
all
hear
going to be
about.
We're gonna get
related.
into feelings.
Ladies and gentlemen,
shit.
thank you for joining us today.
Yes,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
you tuning in. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I hope you come
apologize.
back next week, Tuesday, 3 p.m. here on Go Live Vegas. Hose on air. Please follow us. We appreciate you. Thank you again, Brett.
Thank you, guys.
We look forward to
Fun
next
stuff.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Word.
Shooty
Word
ball.
to Cheers.
We gotta love the shooty ball.
Shooty hoops.
Next episode.
Tune in.
Yep.